It's a really nice day. I have the door open. Today I'm gonna sand and paint my farmhouse table, but it's not going to look so farmhouse anymore. It's not the best table, but it's huge, and I had someone make it for me years ago when I was in my shabby chic farmhouse phase. And it was really cheap. I think I only paid $400 for this thing. And it's really hard to find 5x5 tables. The sun goes down in like 2 hours, so let's see how far I can get painting this table. So obviously, because this is an old, used, cheap table, I am not really going out of my way to paint this the most perfect table. It's a work table. It's gonna get scuffed, it's gonna get scraped, so this is not the project that I'm gonna be putting a ton of effort into. Because this is an older building that has flooded before, I have been concerned about mold. And even though I don't think I'm sensitive to environmental mold, I just wanted to be on the safe side and yeah, get this air doctor. Here we go, moving all my stuff so I can get ready to lay my carpet. Wow. I've never laid flooring before, so my method is probably a little bit unconventional. Because there's no perfect right angles in this building, I wasn't quite sure where to start. And what I wanted to avoid was starting to put the adhesive on the back of each tile, laying it down, and then getting to the end and realizing that it looks like shit. So I'm literally going to be placing every tile in place before I adhere them down. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of extra work, but if it doesn't look good, it's gonna drive me crazy and I would have to redo the whole thing anyways, so yeah. So I'm a big dumb idiot and just assumed that I could cut these with some heavy duty scissors or a box knife, and that is not correct. So I researched, figured out some kind of tool that I could use to cut these and make my life easier. So I went to Harbor Freight and I found this really cheap, I don't know, they were advertising it as like a cardboard cutter, and it did end up working. But as you can see, I was stressing out trying to get this thing going. There's definitely a little bit of a learning curve to it. But hey, it worked. It worked fine. And I'm really glad that I got it because as you will see later, it came in real handy for cutting cardboard. So the carpet store gave me this little doodad to this tool, I don't know what you call it, for the little dots that go on the back. And again, like every aspect of everything, it takes so much longer because you're learning something completely new, and I had to give myself a lot of grace here because I was so frustrated, and your girl does not enjoy doing math, and I really didn't want to cut these tiles if I didn't have to. So I only had to cut a handful of them in half. It's the next day. It's December 15th. I can't believe I did this. I laid these all by myself last night, and I took it really easy today at the gym because I'm so sore. But I'm really excited to finish today. Didn't have as many problems as I thought. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Dang. But I'm loving how this is looking. It's giving like denim patchwork. It's not as vivid blue as I would want, but like I said, I've been having a hard time finding anything that's really vivid. So, but I'm happy with it. And I thought I was gonna dye my couch, my denim couch, but no, it's kind of a vibe. I really want to get started on a couple of commissions, but I would rather get my desk done This weekend, I'm gonna try and get it done. But with DIY projects, you just never know. You're like, oh, I got this done in a few hours, and then it takes weeks. I'm hyped up on caffeine. I'm wearing some vintage 80s today. Also, look at all this freaking cardboard that I have now. I feel like I have to, I'm gonna keep it because I can make something really cool out of this cardboard. Am I gonna be a cardboard artist? I wanna get into making sculpture. I should start with cardboard, right? So that evening, speaking of cardboard, I went to Smack for our monthly figure drawing session. Now, I haven't like painted in so long, so this felt really good. I was wanting to take a time lapse of the entire thing, but my battery died, unfortunately. But yeah, here's some of like what I did on cardboard. It was so fun. I always tell artists, you gotta get involved in your local art community, even if it's something like figure drawing that seems like really terrifying. Just do it. It'll make you a better artist. Okay, so here is the beginning of building the desk. Oh my god. Okay, so as you can see, like I had those 2 laminate countertops that I cut and temporarily had up on, you know, my IKEA furniture, but I had this plan. I got a whole bunch of scrap wood that I've been hanging on to for a really long time, and I was like, sweet, I'm spending like $0 on this desk, which is awesome. I think I spent, you know, like besides the paint. So I had like a really rough idea of what I wanted to do, and I explained to Lucas, like, hey, here's my idea. He's like, that doesn't sound very sturdy. I don't think that's gonna hold a lot of weight. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna have my computer on this desk. It's not like I'm not gonna let people sit on it. Oh, here's little wheels I got off Amazon so that I can move it around by myself. Moment of truth. Here we go. Should we put more wheels on it? I can move the desk by myself, which is kind of the whole point.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, we are at the next phase. How do I finish this desk? I wanted to build this frame to make it a little bit nicer, more custom. In my old studio, I was just using one of these laminate countertops as a desk, and it was okay, but I got these countertops at Lowe's for like 20 bucks, so I bought like 4 of them, and I've been able to repurpose them for all kinds of things throughout the years. So I took 2 of them, cut them down, made an L desk, and I realized that L-shaped desks are not that practical, but I just wanted it to look cooler, like a boss desk. Now that I've made this frame, it has wheels on it and I can easily maneuver it around the room with no one helping me. What do I do to finish out this desk? Originally, I was planning on buying some nice plywood. Plywood is expensive, and I would have to get probably 3 sheets of it. Also, this is not the nicest frame ever. Look, I'm not good at making things exact. I just don't care that much about making things perfect. If I tried to focus on making things perfect, I would never finish anything. And because this countertop is warped, the wood is spent hours pulling staples out, and yeah, it's not great. So if I were to cut plywood and cover this thing, you would see the gaps. I would have to caulk, fill, sand, and it still wouldn't look great. So what does Christine do to hide the imperfections but make things more chaotic? I have so much cardboard right now that I have been putting off recycling. Why not cover this whole desk in cardboard? What a great opportunity for a 2D artist to play around with some 3D material. People like kind of a foundation to these and then play with shape on top of those shapes. Is this gonna take me like weeks? Yeah, probably. Am I putting off other projects that are more important? Yes. But when you walk into the studio, this is the first thing that you see. The cool thing about having a covered desk is, yes, it is kind of more a traditional look. I can hide all my cords. I can have a footstool, my little heater, a trash can, it's all gonna be down here, it's gonna be hidden, which is kind of what I want. I'm a messy person. I like to be able to just like shove my shit somewhere and no one will be able to know. You know those moments where someone's like, hey, I'm gonna stop by in 5 minutes, is that okay? And you're like, yeah, and then you're like, so I'm just gonna start breaking down this cardboard. Let's get cutting. Am I gonna regret starting this? Absolutely not. I don't regret anything. Well, maybe a few relationships. Oh my god, that's so easy. Oh boy, did I underestimate how long this was actually gonna take me. This took weeks, literal weeks. I even predicted it. I said it was gonna take forever and it did. What? But you know what? My desk is really important and I want it to look good. It's giving kids sport. So I cut out a bunch of circles, and by a bunch I mean like, I don't know, maybe 20 at a time, and just started gluing them on. Circles were definitely a choice. I don't know, I've been using circles and like the star shape that you see, if you see in the negative space, there's kind of like that mid-century like star. Obsessed with that. But girl, with these circles I had to be so exact, and I mean like I used this tool. Definitely not great for going around curves. It's only really that great for straight lines. Ooh yeah, like my hand is cramping up, look at that. I made a template and cut out some of these stars. Again, like it's my favorite shape ever. They're kind of a pain in the ass to cut out, so I only did a few. So lately I've been really inspired by like late 90s, early 2000s graphic design. Like if you look at any of the Olympics logos from like the 90s, I'm like obsessed. So I was like, I want to create these like characters with like geometric shapes, kind of like the essence of like movement and just like making in general. Oh, this is my nephew, Pecos Bill. My brother just got him recently and he's so cute, but I traumatized him the other day and now he hates me, so all he does is bite my hands. Okay, so I am sanding down the desk, preparing it for painting, but of course I got ahead of myself and I was like, ooh, like the cardboard's obviously not done, but I really wanted to start painting it blue just to see what it looked like. This is the first time that I have used a shellac primer. I heard that it was really good for priming things like IKEA furniture, like something that has a pretty slick surface that a regular primer wouldn't work for. And it's interesting. It's a lot thinner than I expected. And I probably could have gotten away with just 2 coats, but I did like 3 or 4 just in case. You know, look at me. I'm going overboard on this desk. It's insane. And of course, spent more time cutting out shapes. This took forever, but I kind of liked it. I love repetitive work. I just don't do a lot of it these days, and I don't know, I miss it. Like, I never want to be a barista again because the pay is terrible, but there is something about repetitive work that just feels good. Ooh, I got this wool rug off of Etsy. I wanted like a cool welcome mat that, you know, it's just part of the vibe. Here I'm just playing around with ideas and shapes. I really like I'm so grateful for my iPad, you guys. It's been so helpful in my career, being able to actually see what I'm doing before I do it, so I'm not constantly second guessing myself. I'm not an Apple girly, and I was so scared to spend all this money on an iPad just for Procreate. That's pretty much all I use it for. And it's been totally worth it. Also, I think I'm gonna invest in one of those heavy duty hot glue guns, because these little baby ones are just not cutting it. Okay, I screwed up. I started to apply this polyurethane finish Look how chunky it is. Turns out I looked at the directions on the back and it's just too cold in here to use this. So I instantly regretted putting this on here, but I went ahead and finished putting it on, and we're gonna wait for it to dry. Then once it's dry, I'm gonna sand it down really good and then wait till it's warmer in here and do a second coat. So hopefully I can fix this. And here's the final shot of the desk. I love it so much. It's so fun and unique and cost me almost $0. But y'all, I'm so over this desk. I'm ready to move on. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.